says it should be going. Yes? Alright. This is Sarah, and it is Friday, the 6th of December.
6th.
And today I'm going to be designing a new thing that doesn't exist in any form yet. It is the first iteration of some bullshit that I thought up of in the car. We were driving home from Arizona on Sunday, and I was thinking about a thing, and it is now gonna happen. What is this thing? So I think, and I'm gonna check this right now because I don't trust it, but the title of this stream should be that I'm making a mechanism that pilots a hoverboard, correct? And if you follow me on Twitter, which if you don't, you totally should, because I post most of my daily nonsense on that social media platform, I guess. I've been talking about a hoverboard a lot. I just bought one on Tuesday at Target, because that's where you go to buy things that you don't need. And it's gonna be the specimen to which I do a bunch of surgery in the short run, probably this weekend. I'm going to end up doing stuff to this thing. I get bonus points if I don't end up actually needing to drill into the casing or modifying it in any way, so I'm going to shoot for that off the bat. But again, this is a stream about creating basically a robot that pilots another robot. So I'm making effectively a parasite for now, because this robot isn't going to give anything back to the hoverboard. It's just going to take from it. So it is a parasitic relationship. I don't know if, does the mic sound okay? I have it over here today, because I see that there's some weird amping that has always happened with my microphone, and I have no idea why. I thought maybe it might be the computer feedback or something, but it seems to still be happening even far away from my mouth, so I'm not sure. Happy Friday. Hi Ian, hi James, hi Aswan, Sancho, oh man, hello. Happy Friday. Today is also the first French Toast Friday of the winter season, which if you don't know what that is, it's the winter ritual of my friends, and I would call them my family. So in the summer we do kiddie pool night on Fridays, in the winter we do French Toast Friday, which involves cooking sweet, sugary, bread-like things that allow us to bulk up for the cold.
And you know, beer.
That extreme winter cold. Oh yeah, and beer. That's also a form of carbs. Cool. Thank you for doing my sound check. Awesome. Yeah! Okay, so I'm gonna check to make sure that, before I get started, I'm going to check to make sure that here. It's the same link. I don't know why I bothered. I'm just gonna post the link here. The stuff will be happening here. It will be disorganized. I just tried posting this link and it did the old title to my past stream. Even though I've updated it and it said that it's saved to the settings, it didn't seem to care, so I'm gonna just double check that this is routing people to the right thing. Cool. Nope. Cool. Huh. Yeah, it still says designing Noodle's new brain, PCB, and EagleCAD. That's not what it is. Interesting. Does it say that on my channel? I'm sorry, I'm just really annoyed with all of this right now. Let me sort it out and then I'll get to the CAD doing. Does it even say that I'm streaming? Huh.
What's that noise in the background?
That's me watching myself.
Oh.
Okay, it says so. Okay, it gave the right title on YouTube, but it's just not updating in Twitter. Twitter. Cool. Alright, fine. I'll take it. Oh, I'm really bad at all this stuff. Nothing just works. Here. Delete tweet. Let's try this again. Okay. All right. I'm not even gonna worry about that. Okay. So today, I apologize for the disorganization, but that's a feature on this channel, apparently. Here. Nope. Here. Okay. There we go. So this is the bench. It is a nightmare right now. Some of that is stuff that just got dumped after, I think, SuperCon. There's like a little bone on the table that was from Noodle's Halloween costume.
There's SuperCon bone.
His SuperCon bone. The SuperCon bone. Can you guys hear Marc? Because he's gonna be, I'm sure, like throwing in his thoughts and opinions while I do this. Right, Marc?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear Marc fine? Say hi, Marc. Talk.
Hi, Marc.
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 Marc. Marc. Marc. Okay.
Marc.
So on the table, that is a Jetson Strike, which I know nothing about hoverboards. I spent maybe a day on Amazon looking up all the brands that are listed, and most of them are unrecognizable. I'm guessing they're just I don't know, just random brands that I don't know. Like the hoverboard prospect of getting a hoverboard is scary because I know that I heard that they explode or something on airplanes
all the time,
which is nuts. So I wanted to make sure I got one, and I'm sure they're all safe now after the fact, right? That's how that works.
Now that they've tested it on children.
Yes, now that they've been tested on planes, you know, they should work pretty well now. I'm hoping. The hoverboards, there's a lot of them, and I was very annoyed with having to choose from the massive amount of questionable brands on Amazon, so I just went to Target and picked one out. I don't know if it's good or bad. It seems nice. It said that it's all-terrain, so the good thing about this is that it can go in the backyard and drive around in the dirt. Hopefully, after I get this working, if I get this working. No, I have not stood on it yet. If I feel so inclined, when the guys show up, my friends show up later for French Toast Friday, I might go ride it around in the street, which doesn't sound very safe, especially since it'll be dark. But I might make Marc hold a GoPro and film me riding this thing, just so I know exactly what I'm dealing with. You have to test out the hardware, right? To understand it. It's part of R&D, right?
That's what the nuns used to tell me.
That's what the nuns used to tell Marc.
Yep.
Wait, what? So how are you guys doing? I'm gonna read the chat. I would assume so. How long was it since they were really trendy? I don't know. I don't know when they were trendy. I don't really pay attention to like pop culture, and I don't watch TV, so I kind of try to like detach myself from advertising as much as possible. So if something has too much ad commercial stuff, I kind of just like push it away. And I think I've been so disconnected from actual like human TV since I want to say I was about 12 that like I have no idea what like humans are susceptible to like respond to. So every time I go to somebody's house and I actually watch normal TV and I see commercials, it's like this strange like experience that uproots my comfort thing that I have going on here, because I realize that like the world is a different place. It's not the same as the last common era, we'll call it that, of my life. And I know Mark doesn't watch TV either because we live in the same house, so you probably have a similar experience.
Well, I used to watch a lot of TV, but I've gotten away from it.
It's poison. I don't know when they were popular. Does anyone in the stream know when hoverboards became a thing? Because I actually don't know.
It was like 4 years ago.
Was it like? I mean, that sounds about right. 4 years sounds about correct.
And wasn't there some famous celebrity that tried to bring one on an airplane and I don't know.
I have a hole in my knee. No, Ian, why do you have a hole in your knee? That is not where holes should be.
Noodle does not approve.
Noodle doesn't approve. Noodle has holes in his knee. I think there was a William Gibson book where the main character was allergic to advertising. That sounds... I have that allergy.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, no, I only remember seeing them on YouTube a lot. Going to my parents and seeing actual commercials in general. Yeah, no, I have the same experience. I think I go over to Marc's parents' place and they usually have the TV on, and that's where I'm exposed to actual advertising, and I'm like, what the fuck? Joshua Patton. Hey Kia, how are you doing? Are you doing well on this particular Friday morning? Is it still morning? Morning here. They became a thing with Back to the that's true. You're correct, Sir Micus. Back to the Future did make hoverboards even desirable.
Because they didn't exist yet.
They didn't exist. I personally think hoverboards are kind of lame, at least for like humans to use, because anytime I see a person riding a hoverboard, which there's at least one person in the immediate vicinity of my eyes that I see outside using one occasionally, it seems weird. I think I get the same weird
I think they're a novelty.
Well, it's like Segway.
They're not practical. You wouldn't ride them to work.
Yes.
Right? So it's a novelty that you use for about 3 weeks and then it goes in the closet and gets forgotten.
But I mean,
it's useless shit.
The unpracticalityness aside, there's whether they were super practical or not, there's just something really strange about seeing a human just sort of standing and like levitating like down a road. I mean, kind of cool, I guess, when you think about it, but I guess it's the same sort of feeling when we first started seeing people ride Segways. Like, Segways were never cool, I think. And then they became, like, ironically cool because they're so uncool. I'm gonna say that. I'm just, like, trashing Segways and hoverboards. I think they're kind of weird. And because of that, I kind of like them because they're weird. But, yeah. I'm gonna hack one. Okay, so to give a little bit of backstory, just in case, no one knows this or somebody in the stream doesn't know this, the reason I'm doing this is because about a year after Noodle was born, I decided to create another robot, which is what parents do. They make another baby, and the original baby doesn't like it, and they do it anyway, and then you have, like, this... Anyhow, I digress. I made another kid, and his name was Carl, and he was a lawn ornament that I acquired from the ether somewhere, and I sort of announced upon receiving this lawn ornament that I would turn it into a robot of some capacity. Very soon thereafter, I thought it'd be cool if it was something that could kind of, like, hover around, or, like, bobble around on, like, a long stilt, and a ball balancing robot made sense for that particular task. Mark and I tried to do that. It was too hard. Then we tried to just make a single axis balancing robot out of the flamingo. That was also too hard. We were trying to do it from scratch. We were trying to control the motors, and we were trying to make it do... It wasn't a fun task, so at some point over the weekend, I don't know who said it, we were at a wedding with a bunch of technical people. Someone said, "Ah, yes, if you run into a problem that is too hard for you to solve, find technology that has already solved the problem and then exploit that." And that just sort of sunk into my, like, brain for a while, and then on the ride home from the wedding in the desert, I spent, like, 5 hours thinking about, hoverboards and how I would exploit a hoverboard to make Carl do the thing I always envisioned him doing. And this also means, in a more symbolic, artsy, conceptual way, that Carl is now a parasite. He's a parasitic robot who is leveraging the abilities of another robot to allow him to do the things he otherwise can't, like move. And don't worry, I won't be doing this to Noodle. Noodle will be functioning all on his own when he does function. But Carl's gonna be a parasite. And he might move before Noodle, so
Noodle says he's not opposed to having a hoverboard of his own.
Aw, Noodle gets those things that go on the individual feet that have like the wheels on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
talking about? You could do a four-way caster thing. He's like...
Noodle has caster feet right now, by the way.
He said he can be a noodle coma.
Noodle coma?
Like a
Tati coma, but Noodle.
He said he won't be as friendly, though.
Oh, no. He's gonna be a little shit.
Yes.
Don't Tachikomas have, like, guns in them? Or, like...
What?
Don't they have, like, machine guns in them or something?
Yeah, they're weapons, but they're, like, really friendly, cheerful.
I relate to this thing, by the way. This Tachikoma thing.
I love the Tachikoma.
Okay, I've been talking for 16 minutes.
You should maybe make something now.
A screaming flamingo. Yes. A screaming flamingo. I'm gonna make a screaming flamingo. So this is going to be a little bit weird because Carl is going to have a fat bottom if this does in fact work. The hoverboard's pretty big, and I think what my end game goal for this project is going to be, other than getting Carl to move, of course, that's like the obvious goal, I think what I'm going to attempt to accomplish is creating a mechanism, a mechanical device that is potentially usable on any hoverboard so that I can like write a tutorial like, hey, print these parts and assemble this bullshit, and then you have a robot that
Get yourself a chicken.
Get yourself a chicken, and you've got yourself a robot that can ride this type of robot. And I think this is going to translate into my larger body of work in the context of leveraging, again, like Marc said, novelty technology that just gets thrown into the closet and kind of giving it a new life, which is, there's this huge community out there of people who do stuff to Furbies, right? So they're taking a novelty piece of technology that there's like probably piles of all over the world that are collecting dust, and they do new interesting things with the Furbies, and you can now hack Furbies and have them do all sorts of crazy shit. I'm gonna attempt to do something similar because I have a weird affection towards inanimate objects. I think that we should treat our technology better and love and care for it, and sometimes that means giving it a second life or helping it evolve to its next stage of life. So cheers to that. Hi Pullus Squalus. Hi Badger Pig. Oh man. Hi everybody. And if I am making gross noises, I apologize. I've been sick for like a month now. I want to say since the week before SuperCon, which was in the middle of November. Like, I had the flu back then, and I think that got like parlayed into a cold. Or maybe I just have like some goop infection and I need to go see a doctor, and I'm not, so I'm just gonna keep drinking coffee and taking Advil until it goes away. Ha! Anyhow, alright. So I'm gonna walk over to this thing and I'm gonna explain with shapes what I'm gonna be doing. And Marc and I argued about this all morning in a fun way. Like either of us had any idea.
Oh, that was fun.
I thought it was fun.
All right.
Oh, you didn't like that? Oh. Should I use more?
I mean, I was laughing, but not for.
Eat. Like a long Furby organ.
What?
There's a Furby organ.
Your fub is sticking out. Oh, that kind of organ. Sorry.
No.
The visual for that just.
No, not that kind of Furby organ.
Well, don't say the word organ without any context. My mind goes there.
I mean, never mind.
Yes.
I am a firm believer in Badger Pig, the zinc. Taking zinc when you think you're getting sick does actually, I think, do something. For sure.
Sure.
Because when I'm staving off something, if I take zinc, I usually don't get the thing. But if I don't take zinc because I forget or I'm stubborn, then I usually do end up getting the thing. It just progresses down that path of pestilence. I did say, should I use more lube? Lube often in this house means alcohol.
Or gravy.
Or gravy.
Salsa.
Salsa.
Taco lube.
It means taco sauce. Sauce. We do have Bailey's.
There's a...
Did you have some? It's on the counter. Did you go get Bailey's?
I was going to take a picture of me pouring Bailey's on a bowl of cereal.
Oh.
With a thing that said Merry Christmas.
I mean...
Because that's what it feels like.
Merry Christmas.
That's the milk.
Bailey's is the milk of winter.
Yes. Winter's milk.
There are also Furby organs out there, but not on YouTube. I'll ever get a long Furby. What's a long Furby?
Right.
I'm not familiar with a... Oh, is that the thing with the spider legs? It's like horrific looking. It looks like a centipede Furby. Because those are horrifying.
Those are awesome.
And awesome. I have one. I've seen one in real life. Alcohol is social lube. Exactly. Food lube. And I would not use gravy as lube. That's a bad idea.
That's how you get yeast infections, kids.
That is how you get a yeast infection.
Not speaking from experience.
Yes. Okay. So, don't use anything that isn't lube as lube. That's a good rule of thumb. I mean, just don't do it. Anyhow, I digress. We both everyone digresses.
Let's digress.
I'm digressing.
A moment of digression.
Okay, so here's my plan of action for this device, which has taken many multiple layers of processing to even kind of discern what my game plan is going to be. Because the thing, upon opening it and probing it a little bit, yielded the knowledge that yielded the knowledge that it does not work the way that the internet said that it did. The internet
lies.
The internet said that generally the hoverboard technology, the way that it does is there are 2 foot pads, and each foot pad has 2 switches, one for forward and one for back. The switches basically tell the motor which way to rotate, and it kind of implied that the twist action, because if you notice, there's this split. There's like basically 2 separate chunks and they can rotate against each other. I always thought that was just to kind of make the, I guess, piloting experience feel more organic for the rider. Like it was sort of a thing that helped the device move with your body a bit more organically. Not the case with this model. This particular bullshit over there, the Jetson, there's an accelerometer in each of those housings that determines which way the motors rotate. So there's one switch in each foot pad that's pressure sensitive, and that determines how fast the motor spins. So if you really, like, I guess...
No, that determines whether the motor spins or not.
Yeah, but it also...
Whether you're standing on it.
But it also dictates speed. It's pressure sensitive.
No, that's tilt.
What?
That's the accelerometer. When you tilt it, it goes faster.
Are you sure?
Yes, because it's trying to move faster to achieve balance again.
Okay, so then the switch just engages.
The switch tells it there's somebody on it. If you fall off of it, it turns off because the switch isn't being pressed. It's a dead man switch. That's all it is. So if one of your feet comes off of it, the thing stops because it's no longer in normal mode. The person has left the device.
Scratch that. So it's not pressure sensitive. It's just
a click.
Switch.
It's a definite click, and it knows whether you're there or not.
I could have sworn when I was fucking around with it the other day that if I press...
I think if you tilt it, you'll see. Well, you do it again. Do the whole experiment. But when I play with it, my memory of it is that it was... If it was tilted and you pressed it, it would start spinning.
Oh.
But if it was balanced, it would sit there, and then you start tilting it. It would start to roll faster and faster the more you tilted it.
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
Okay, so there needs to be a punch button. A button punch. I'm sorry. Button puncher. Okay. That changes that game. Okay, so there needs to be a button presser for each foot. This is good because it doesn't have to have some level of controllability. It just needs to be pressy or not pressy. That's easy. And then I guess the accelerometer that decides the direction and the speed. Okay, so the bulk of the sensitivity is going to be determined by the degree to which the motors rotate the housing of the foot casings. And when I say casings or housings, I am referring to the two separate segments of the thing. I'm gonna go touch it here. I'll check the chat in a moment, but I'm gonna go actually turn this thing on and show you what I mean. Let's go play with it here. Oh god. Throw the chair. Okay, so let's prop this thing up so that it doesn't escape. Oh god. Okay, so foot pads. So there are basically two, like, body casings that rotate against one another, and then there's these foot pads. So I guess this Marc is saying is just a dead man switch. It beeps when you engage it. Okay, you're correct. My assessment was wrong.
Marc is always correct.
Unless he's not.
Hear me now, believe me later.
Marc thinks he's always correct.
Or believe me now, hear me later.
Sure. Okay. I mean, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm correct about that. So I'm probably gonna mess this up, but...
Noodle's snickering.
What?
Noodle's snickering.
Why is Noodle snickering?
Because Carl is not getting his hoverboard anytime soon. He's like...
Noodle, this means that no one's getting mobile anytime soon. Supposed to be working on her. Alright. So the thing that I'm going to make is going to rock each one of these platforms back and forth against one another. And the thing that me and Marc were arguing about earlier was whether or not I'm going to need a sleeve that is independent relative to each one of these rotating parts, or at least is a solid point that each segment of my mechanism is going to mount to as a reference. I don't think it's necessary. It might be, but I'm going to not do kind of a stationary middle point because I don't think that it has to do. Basically, the best way I can think of explaining this is I'm going to be creating two mechanical linkages that can rock back and forth. I brought it over here with me. Where the hell did I put it? It was in my hand and then I put it down and now it's gone. You know how that works. Oh, yep, here it is. Okay. I don't know if you can see this very well. I made this thing, and it's a linkage that basically rocks back and forth relative to the central point. So there's a gear up here. This is effectively going to be the motor, the servo motor, and when it rotates, the thing rocks back and forth and either pokes in one direction or pokes in the other direction. And originally I thought that this thing was going to be engaging two switches on the foot pads, but it's not. It's actually going to be rotating the entire casing itself forward or back to get the accelerometer to do its accelerometer doing. So it's effectively the same type of mechanism, it's just going to be serving a slightly different purpose. Of course I'm going to be making like a lot bulkier version of this. This is just sort of a like, I guess, a proof of concept to see if I was even running off in the correct direction. So what I'm going to be doing today is making a central hub. The central hub is basically going to be the thing that Carl mounts to. It's going to be, I guess, it's like an axle. I'm going to be creating an axle that Carl mounts to in the center, like his leg stock. Oh man, I didn't bring the mic over. Can you guys even hear me?
They're like, no.
I need to get like a big...
You need a wireless lapel mic. Which
yeah?
we have.
So when I run around, I can
Yes, we'll give you a little pack.
Hey, could you guys hear me over there?
They're like, no.
Oh man.
Recap.
Shit. Wait. So if I go over here and I talk. I think so. It's just probably not as good. Damn it. Okay. So the thing that I'm going to be doing is making an axle, and attached to each end of the axle is going. Wait, let me turn this. On each end of the axle is going to be a mechanism that has one of those poker things. So there's going to be a motor that tells the poker to go left or right, and the two motors are basically always going to be doing the opposite of one another. So if one pokes in one direction, like the opposite will do the equal opposite thing, so that it's just always twisting the body. I know this isn't necessary to have two motors, because we were talking about that earlier. I could just have one, because it's just rotating one side of the thing against the other side of the thing. But in my mind, this just makes sense. Plus, I think I can probably hack doing a lot of that on my own without relying on Marc to do code doing. I'm trying to make eye contact with you.
I'll write you code.
I know, but I don't want to rely on you, because I know you hate
I know. You just have to butter me up.
No, I don't want to butter.
With actual butter.
No.
Bacon is a good substitute.
We hear you. Okay, cool. Hi, Vi!
Hi, Vi!
Ah! How are you? Oh, cool, you guys can hear me. Good. Volume 2, in a way. What does that mean? It was better than most. Ooh, okay. It's very low audio at the table. Okay. I can just turn the gain, like, way the hell up. Here. Does this help? If I turn that up and I go over here and I'm like, oh my god, I'm a raptor, and I'm talking and I'm waving my hands, does that help in any way? Or is it still really low? Because I can totally relocate the microphone, but I don't want to have to. I need like a floating mic. I need to make robots that have like cameras and microphones on them that just follow me around when I do this. Okay. So I'm making a poker. And yes, I do need to butter Gargamel up. They're calling you Gargamel again.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Merry Christmas, everybody.
I mean, sleepy. Oh, I drank too much root beer and now I'm a tired by. Aww. Root beer coma. Is root beer coma a thing? I want a root beer coma.
I want to find out for sure.
Rich, creamy root beer butter. Okay, so anyhow. Marc, yell into the mic.
Ah!
There you go. Cool. Alright, thank you. Thank you for confirming that. Because I'm going to bounce back and forth quite a bit. Alright, so again, central axle. It's going to connect two mechanisms with motors that are going to stay, I guess, relative to one another in the same position. And then the poker, I'm going to call them pokers, the things that rock back and forth that do the poking, those are going to push against the feet pads and make them twist. The end of those pokers is probably going to be attached to the casing in some capacity. However, if I can do that, like solidly mount the rocking mechanism to the foot thing, the whatever that is, the hoverboard, without drilling into the casing or permanently modifying the hoverboard with holes in stuff, I'm going to attempt to do that. So one of the things I might end up doing in CAD today is creating some sort of like clamp that has mounting points on it for my rocking poker linkage, if that makes any sense. I guess I can ask this in general. Does that make sense to everybody? If not, I'm just gonna dive into it and hopefully it does eventually. Oh man. No. Merry Christmas! No self-violence in my chat. Everybody be a happy pizza. Carl is a Pokemon. He's a parasitic Pokemon. Carl's a chicken. We just put up our first Christmas tree, actually, in this house. Ever. We don't think we've ever decorated the house for like Christmas or anything. So yeah, we got Noodle some tasting candies. They're like big round rainbow balls. This is another thing. I'm gonna like get kind of dark here for a second. My whole life growing up, my mom was one of those moms who always made like a department store Christmas tree, and it had like no like family Christmas ornaments or fun things on it ever. It was always just, she did it. She put like the white lights on it with the perfect gold and silver balls, and it looked beautiful. Like she did a beautiful tree, but it had no family character to it whatsoever. And I'm going to not do what she did. Not that I have a family or anything. I guess like Marc is my family and Noodle is my family, and like the guys who are coming over later, my friends, that's my family. I want us to kind of do stuff to the tree so that it has meaning. Does that make sense? I mean, that's what it seems like. That's what Christmas trees are supposed to be about. It's just that was never a thing in my life yet. So the thing that we're doing is we're going to make a pizza tree, and I'm going to encourage that everybody put food things in the tree, for Noodle's sake. I'm going to get some felt and make like big felt like flat mushroom pieces and pepper pieces and pepperonis, and I'm going to hang the pizza pieces in the tree and maybe some little pizza slices too. And then I'm gonna invite everyone to just sort of contribute shit to it as well, with like a prompt for food. Although if somebody got me an ornament that didn't involve food, I would very happily welcome it into my tree's branches, but I'm gonna shoot for food. And I think there's a llama in it right now, right, Marc?
Wait, what?
Llamas aren't food. I mean, I guess they could be food.
To people who grow llamas, yes. Because somebody gave me llama jerky once, which I did not eat, because it just grossed me out, but yes.
Okay, llamas can be food.
They can be food, but...
Okay, so...
make great sweaters, too.
There's one llama food item in the tree right now. I got it from Target, because I thought it was cute. Pizza and robot decorations. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry you're lonely. I'm lonely too. But in a weird way. I'm lonely in a mind way. Not in a social way. The only reason I celebrate Christ's birth is because of presents. Ha! I don't think we're celebrating Christ's birth. I think we're just celebrating the fact that this is what humans have always done to us in our lives. And we're continuing to do that because of nostalgia. Because, yeah, I was talking about this on Twitter. I don't think anyone I know celebrates Christmas because of religion. They just do it because that's what they know.
Yeah, it's culture.
It's culture. It's like Halloween, but snow and fat men. and commercialism.
Fat old German men who visit the kids in the middle of the night.
It's...
Anyways, sorry to creep that out on everybody.
We celebrate capitalism with fat men and reindeer.
Exactly.
I have 12 reindeer, one for every month. Wait, what? Social way. Easter is Murder Day. Easter is Noodle's favorite holiday
Murder
because
Day.
it involves eggs. Easter is always
No, Easter is holy shit. That guy we murdered 3 days ago, Rose Day, isn't it?
It's Zombie Day, yeah. It's the day of the zombie.
He won't fucking die.
Yeah. So it's the day that some people celebrate the first zombie story ever told. I think it's an egg day because eggs like represent fertility, and I like fertility. It's the day everyone should fuck like bunnies and die eggs. That's Easter.
Bunny fucker.
And Noodle likes eggs because he's a baby. Okay, I'm done being social. I'm sorry, I haven't streamed in a while, so I'm just excited to read the chat and talk to you guys. It's the worst. Krampus is there. I like Krampus. I need to watch that movie. Oh, and St. Nicholas was Turkish, Mikomen says. I did not know that. Interesting. Easter. Yep. Jew cakes. Latkes. Is that what you're talking about? Jew cakes.
Hey.
Is that
Latkes.
Is that latkes that you're referencing? Sex
You
day.
had me at cakes.
I mean, I love latkes. My family has like a lot of Jewish influence, because part of my family was Jewish, and they got killed during that thing that everyone knows about. So there was, up to a certain point, like a lot of those traditions in my family as well, and they've kind of like vanished. Because now there's like no meaning to Christmas or holidays or anything like that in my family. It's all just sort of, I guess we do Vigilia, which is a Polish thing. Vigilia is like a family gathering where everyone celebrates Christmas, but there's like certain foods that you eat. It's like a wish, goodwill giving celebration that I guess Poles do. I don't actually know a whole lot about it. I just know that our family does Polish food, which is delicious. It's the one time of the year that we do the Polish food. All of your inventions joined together to form a giant robot. I'm not that cool. Yes. I'm gonna say yes. One day. Jodekager? Was the goat thing in Denmark also with the mask and whatnot? Christmas cake we eat here in Denmark. Ooh. I think I'm gonna make... Do you guys know what Russian tea cakes are? Sorry, I'm enjoying human interaction. Do you guys know what,
Yeah.
like, I know they're called a lot of different things depending on the culture, but, I personally know them as Russian tea cakes. They're like those little white snowballs. They're called snowballs, I think. That's, like, the common generic name for them. They're kind of like scones. They're like little, hard, flavorless balls that have nuts in them and then powdered sugar on the outside, and you generally eat them with coffee or Bailey's or something. I think they're my favorite cookie ever because they aren't terribly sweet, and they have a satisfying texture like a scone. They're kind of awful, but
they're crumbly.
Yeah, they're crumbly and dense.
Yes.
I like them. They're great. I don't know, does anybody, like, I think this might be a Midwestern thing, but one of the things my family used to do when I lived in Michigan is we used to exchange tins of Christmas cookies. So all of the family matriarchs would make like 20 different types of Christmas cookies, and they would put them in like 2 or 3 of each in a Christmas themed tin, and then they would mail them to everybody else in the family. So invariably around Christmas time you just get a bunch of these festive tins in the mail with like different types of Christmas cookie shit in them, and everyone in the family would get to have like 1 of each kind. And this was fun but terrible because when I was a kid I didn't know what any of those types of cookies are, and I don't know what they're called, and I'll never know what they were called. So those cookies and my concept of them are lost forever. And they're good. There's like some really interesting stuff in there that I remember liking a lot, but they will forever remain a mystery because I no longer know who made them, where they came from, and who to ask about what was involved in their creation. So it was kind of this weird ritual that yielded a bunch of strange culinary unrest in my heart. Goat comes from a Nordic myth. It is all about goat? The wildest thing is opening a tin and finding actual cookies. Rather than sewing supplies. Chocolate bark is my favorite. Yeah!
Bark,
The peppermint
yep.
chocolate bark is like good. Oh man, I don't speak Danish. Oh man. The Yule goat? Is there a Yule goat? I want a Yule goat. Little goat. Little goat. That's what I call Mark.
Goat.
Little goat. Get down on your knees, little goat.
Whoa. Whoa.
That was more of a northern thing. The Yule goat. Everything the family does revolves around food. Isn't that, I think every culture is like that. It's all about the making of food and sharing it. It's like a bounty thing.
Yes.
Is in Sweden. The Christmas cake we eat here in Denmark. Sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat. Okay. Oh man, it's almost been enough. Okay, I've explained a little, I've done very little too. Let's dive into this. So I have another screen set up. That's what I see. What am I doing here? Wait, did I have that other thing on? That's the wrong... There we go. There's me. Okay, so... I said this was going to be a Fusion stream. I don't want to lie to you. I've done enough talking about cookies and whatever else I was talking about. Goats. Okay, so I'm making effectively two poker assemblies that aren't gonna look like this, but they will be like that in spirit. They're going to attach to a mounting point that's fixed to either casing of the hoverboard, and they're going to actuate either side back and forth relative to one another, and the motors are always going to be doing the opposite of each other, no matter what. So whether that's a little bit of actuation or a lot of actuation, the other motor will be doing the equal opposite of that. Right, Mark? Does that make sense?
Yep.
And it's not going to be connected in the middle to a fixed point. The axle is going to be floating, right, Mark? Because that's my idea. I don't know if that's going to work, but I'm going to try it.
Sure.
Mark doesn't think it's going to work.
You're past the crack.
I'm going to try what I think I ought to do, and if it works, then...
Do what feels natural, Sarah.
Mark insists that he's always right and I should listen to him. But I'm stubborn, so I'm going to do what I think I should first. Give it a shot. And then on the axle there needs to be some mounting point for Carl so that he can stick straight up and not slosh around, I guess. Although I'm hoping that there's quite a bit of wobble on him. He weighs next to nothing, and I'm hoping that this mechanism actually sort of throws him back and forth quite a bit, because I think that would be hilarious. Who the hell's messaging me? Yes. Overwhelmingly social. Tonight we're making banana bread French toast. Let me switch this down. I have to measure this thing on my bench, because I don't actually... Oh, Mark, what should I use as an axle? I meant to ask you this last night.
Axle? What are you talking about?
The thing that connects one assembly on one side of the foot to the other end of the foot. Like, I could make a 3D printed thing that connects them in some capacity, or just use spacers, but I figure it would be a really good excuse to just use metal, like pipe or something.
Just use some, if you want to use, we have conduit.
Should I use, like, fiberglass?
We have carbon fiber. I have fiberglass rod, which is a 1/4 inch.
Do you have it?
Yeah, in the garage somewhere.
Can you grab it for me?
Like now?
Well, like soon.
Like,
so I want to get a
That
measurement.
means putting clothes on.
No, it doesn't. You have pants and a shirt on. You can walk
I
out
don't
to your
have pants
garage.
on.
You have
I
bed
have to
pants
put
on.
shoes and socks because I'm not going out there. There's things out there that would eat you alive,
Like scorpions.
like scorpions and spiders.
All right. I need a. Mark's afraid of scorpions.
I do not like scorpions.
I mean, I guess you've woken up in the middle of the night with them like
I had one on my hand
in the
this
middle.
summer,
In the middle of the
and
night.
it didn't sting me. I brushed it off. I felt it. We had a little bit of a, you know,
Tussle.
yeah. While I'm waking up, I'm like, why is this soft thing squishy? And I'm feeling it. I'm like, is that a scab? And it's like I wake up and there's a scorpion sitting on my hand, not stinging me. Maybe they like me and they're like trying to offer.
They're trying to cuddle you.
It died. So their peace emissary died.
You're mean.
So now there's an actual war with scorpions now.
Yes, every time Mark goes outside and we drink a beer, like in the front yard, they like chitter in the bushes.
Yeah, or something chitters.
It's the scorpions.
You think it's scorpions?
Yeah, they want their vengeance. They want to exact their vengeance.
Exactly. They're like, Mark.
Yeah, they're gonna make sure you get yours.
They're like my Smurfs. I'm Gargamel, and I just want them dead.
Does Gargamel want to kill Smurfs?
He wants to eat them.
Eat them?
He thinks there's some tasty treat.
I'm sorry if this is loud.
So there's an episode of Robot Chicken where he actually gets them and cooks them, and he's like, oh yeah, not a good idea.
So they're not that good.
Yeah, they were like awful tasting.
Ah.
It was one of my favorites. All right.
Huh. Okay. I have pen and paper. I need to get some measurements of this thing. So I'm gonna need to make an axle, and it looks like it's going to be about exactly 300 millimeters. This is a 30 centimeter ruler. Yep. And this looks like it's going to be about the exact right length of axle. At either end of this, there's going to be a mounting point that attaches to the poker assembly. So it's going to look kind of like this, but bulkier, of course. I have no idea if you guys can hear me. I'll shout.
Shout.
So... I don't think the calipers would go that far. Mark, do you know where the calipers are?
I don't. You have them.
Mark.
Mark. You must have them.
Oh, yeah. Whee. They're underneath shit. No. Alright, no exact measurement, but that's okay. It seems like this thing is about... That's the wrong. Roughly 18.5 centimeters. So the thing that I'm gonna try to do is, Mark was saying, make like a bijou clamp, I guess. Some sort of thing that clamps around this and has mounting points on it. Wait, you guys can't hear me. Or maybe you can, I don't know.
Just move the mic over to the corner.
Because cords. Okay, so I'm gonna try and make something that clamps. And there's like a TV in the way, so the sound's probably not traveling. I'm going to make a thing that clamps around this and sort of tightens down around the end of each one of these feet pieces. And then there's going to be some linkages, like attachment points on here that I can connect my mechanism to. So I'm going to design that first because that's low-hanging fruit, and then I can send that off to the printer to print while I do the other more complicated parts, like sizing this linkage, and deciding how it's going to connect to the motor and exactly how thick it needs to be so that it has some heft to it. So the other measurement that I need is this thing's, I guess this is the girth. Relative girth. This thing's heavy. Okie dokie. Doot and scoot. Yo, guys. Okay. Back to work. How is this going to manifest? Should I do that? Or should I just drill into the damn thing? Marc.
I would avoid drilling.
Should I just make like a clamping, like stirrup thing
Yes.
that sandwiches it?
Stirrups always are the best.
Yeah.
First approach.
I'm thinking. Is there any way to get it? A lot of this is going to need to be metal, of course, eventually. Oh man, wish my nose would stop running. Alright, so a lot of this for now is going to be fairly small and garbagey. I apologize. I wish I could just download like a Fusion360 step file of the actual hoverboard.
Let's write the manufacturer. Do you have a step file for this? What are you doing with it?
Ground clearance? Make the need for a center support, attach a hanging mast below him to give him a driven connection to the axle. Yeah, I don't think there's enough ground clearance for a hanging anything.
No, that's pretty low.
Riding the hoverboard, carrying Carl. Yes, minimum viable product is just Marc riding the hoverboard, carrying Carl. That's like...
You holding a tray of bacon?
Oh my god.
Mission accomplished.
Oh my god. He's a flamingo. His legs should be at least as long as his body is tall. Yes. Yes.
That's true.
But that would help. I think a robot that utilizes a human and another robot in its function is like... That is like the best solution for me. Oh, my phone. Okay. Damn it. Alright. I'm gonna just guess. I can always fudge a lot of this once I print it. So I think what I'm going to end up doing... I need some loops. Is attachment points. I'm going to make, like, what I perceive as being the functional minimum. Oh god, that's me. Alright. For this thing. So, that I can tell... The thing that I need to clamp down around is roughly... 18 would be... Is that 100? 1,000. No. Oh my god, why is my phone going crazy? Stop it.
The fuck is it? Is that just your Twitter?
No, it's a chat on Twitter that I don't know what's happening in it. Okay. So the girth is 68 millimeters, and the length is 1. There we go. Oh god, that can't be right. My bad. Okay. How's it that I always forget to eat? Mark.
I don't know.
Are you hungry?
I could eat, but I had a snack with my coffee because I don't forget to eat a snack.
What do we have?
Nothing. You have bagels. You want a bagel?
No.
Then you don't get anything. There's eggs.
Eggs.
Do I have to make food for you?
No, because I'm streaming.
You can eat eggs
That means I get
for
to
your
suffer.
audience.
Yeah?
Just watch them. Watch you lick a plate.
Watch me lick yolk off a plate.
Just say the word Patreon right before you lick the plate, and then you'll get new patrons.
No. No one wants to see me lick an egg.
You
Mark.
don't know the internet.
Yeah. You're right, Mark. I do not. Actually, I think I want that to be 10. I have the worst habits when I design shit.
Damn it.
Hmm? Okay. We're just gonna leave that on. So this shape right here is the height of the foot pad, and this is the thickness, I guess, from front to back of the foot pad. I'm going to make 2 just boring ass bars for now that go on the top and bottom, and then I'm going to connect them with spacers that are the I guess the width of the board. I don't know what I'm gonna use for those. It doesn't really make sense to print them, or maybe it does. I don't know. Do we have 68 millimeter girth? Do we have 68 millimeter? Do I have No, I don't. The highest.
What are you trying to do?
I have to sandwich, Mark. I have to sandwich 2 pieces together around the foot pieces, right? So it makes sense to have a top piece and a bottom piece.
Just
and
do
then
2 flat
spacers.
plates, and then you have
Spacers.
threaded rod instead
Yes.
of spacers, and then you clamp.
That's what I'm doing.
So just cut some threaded rod.
Should I print the spacers though, or do we have like?
What do you need spacers for? If it's flat, if it's metal, then you're just gonna till it clamps the material. Then you're done. There's nothing to space.
You sure?
Yeah, because you're actually gripping the unit. So you're just gonna compress the rod until it holds.
But then the plastic will bend.
If you put a little bit of foam on your metal, it'll compress like your hands are squishy. You're just gonna hold it like a burrito. Is that a term you understand?
Burrito?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're holding it like a baby or a burrito. Don't eat the baby.
The burrito baby, delicious.
Yeah, why do babies need to look like burritos?
I don't
That's
know.
very dangerous for babies. Thanks for babysitting, Mark. Where's the baby?
I know, right?
Oh, that wasn't a burrito?
Oh my god. This is why I keep my phone off. Fuck. Why can we never get a hold of you? I crave to be social and hate being social at the exact same time. Okay. This is gonna look so trashy, by the way. It is going to be utter garbage. Ready, go. Whatever I make is just going to be bad. Okay. Bodies. Let's simulate the body. So hypothetically speaking, if I pretend like I know what I'm doing, there's going to be a bar on the top and on the bottom, and then there's... That's the other thing I need to think about. Why is this? There. Okay. So, what? Did I click on you? No? Okay, fine. Cool. So, I think I'm going to connect you people. Create. She's crazy. That's where I get all quiet and weird. What? Okay, so I don't want these two bodies are redundant. So that's my top. This would hypothetically be my bottom. Mark, will you be my bottom?
I'll be your bottom.
Alright.
I'll get the bacon.
What? Is that what it takes?
Yes.
Yes? Give me that bacon, babe.
Yep.
Kohi.
Oh yeah.
Kohi. Uh-oh. Cute as that. Would be the best way. I don't want to do that because that'd be weak. It would be weak.
Weak.
You are weak. How do I do this? Okay, so I need to have loops, like loop linkages coming off of either end, which is where my, I don't know where the mechanism went. That's where the mechanism would attach. So they're basically attachment points for the rocker, but I don't want to print them coming straight up off of this shape because one of these faces is going to be on the print bed, right? So the layers are going to go like horizontally across this frame piece. If I have the loop sticking up straight off of this, then it's going to have weak points and it's going to want to crack eventually. Although if we use PET, it's probably not going to be too bad for the sake of prototyping.
Right.
But I don't know how I would replicate it in metal eventually, so... Oh, so what would I do? Sava. What would you do? Only to be with you.
What? Wow. Sarah's greatest hits. Recorded live.
What? Don't make fun of me.
Yeah. You're just getting weird, lady.
I am weird. I'm just gonna do the thing that I said I shouldn't do. You know.
We were expecting that.
When?
We've been waiting for you to do the thing you do.
Is that what everyone's doing? Everyone's just waiting for me to, like...
Yep.
What?
Lies.
See, this part's gonna crack. The thing that I'm doing right now. It's gonna crack.
Go on.
But...
Keep talking about that wonderful crack.
What? But for the time being, I'm going to pretend like it's not going to crack.
Let's just ignore it.
Let's just pretend like stuff isn't the way that it is. You know. Oh. Okay. Kohi. Kohio. Kohio Kudasai. So we'll need both the top and bottom bracket, because only one of them is going to have the nipple on it. That nipple that I just made. So I do have to project this to here. So there will be a bracket piece on the bottom that does not have the nipple, and a bracket piece on the top that does have the nipple. Nipples. And no. How about no, Mark?
What? I like nipples.
Noodle says he likes nipples too.
Yes. That's my boy.
But only the kind that he can get juice out of.
I'm in.
Why is Sarah doing that? I don't know either. I'm going to mirror this because I don't want to remake that nipple thing again. There. Okay. and then I take this and this, and I combine them, and then that's the lazy way to make a second nipple. Ta-da! Lazy nipples. Mommy's got lazy nipples. Okay. That is going to crack. It's 5 millimeters thick, which is pretty beefy, so if I print this in PET, it's probably good enough to give me a sense of whether or not the mechanism in its capacity is going to work or not, which is kind of all I'm going for this first run. I want to see if I'm even in the ballpark, so it would be nice if it worked great, but by no means this is going to be like the final pizza. It's just going to be like, hey, does this even work the way that I conceptualized it working? Which is it's a huge thing, right? Is wrapping your head around what the hell you're even doing. That's most of life. I can say that translates into all walks of life, not just mechanical engineering, just life. What the fuck am I even doing? Always. Okay, so there's going to be 68 millimeter spacers in between each of these corners, and probably some amount of like foam to kind of just make sure that it's tight and like really nicely, snugly sandwiching each one of these feet pieces. This is going to be the attachment point for my mechanism. That's going to be good for now. I'm just going to say that. This is going to be a weak point right here. Yes, I could make it thicker if I wanted to, because I think that there's only, what, like 3 millimeters between the edge of the hole and the whatever. I could beef that up. I'm not gonna yet. I want these to print relatively fast. I don't anticipate actually assembling this today. Probably tomorrow. I have other work I need to get done this weekend. I do want to design this so that I can at least print all of the parts. So at the point in time when they all kind of collectively finish and I have a pile of pieces, I can have like assembly day and I can actually put all this together and I can stream it and I can talk about what I'm doing. And then we can all laugh as I realize that it's not going to work, because that's how that works. Or Marc will laugh. Marc likes to laugh at me. Gargamel. Go make me breakfast.
Go make me breakfast. Bitch!
I feel like lox. I feel spoiled. I got to have lox this past weekend on Sunday. That was so good. It was like a giant lox bagel sandwich with tomatoes and capers and red onions. It was fucking delicious. I think I could eat that every day. Like, salmon, particularly the smoked and or cured variety, is probably like my one true weakness.
Raptor bacon.
Yes. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna just use this mechanism and modify it. So I'm gonna copy it from the original. I know that's not how Fusion's supposed to work. I don't care. This one is going to be named... I know that it saves versions every time you save it, but I hate that. Because I can't just... I don't like that it works that way. So this is going to be Poker V2. It's going to be totally different than V1, and they get to be separate files. The end. I guess in my mind there's a difference between versions and revisions. Does that make sense? Marc?
What?
There's a difference between versions and revisions, right? That's like two separate things in my mind. A version is like, they're the same thing, but they're like maybe like different takes on that thing, and then revisions are like all the micro tweaks that you do to it to like hone it in. So I want to say like the difference between a version is like the concept is different, and the difference between a revision is just honing it.
In what you just said, I would think I would agree, because you're revising something and you're pushing it toward the perfection of what, but a version is
like different.
Enough is different that it's not compatible with the old thing.
Yes.
The other one is a tuning of the thing.
Yes. So that makes sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how I label my shit.
Alright.
When I do prototyping, I label all of my parts. So once I print this thing that I'm about to do, oh man. I need to save this. What is this? This is the, foot pad. What did I call this? It's a bracket? Yeah? Sure. Brace? It's a brace. Okay. Once I print all of this, it's all gonna get, drawn on, and I'm gonna label what it actually is. Alright, this is when all this is gonna start making sense. I hope. Oh man, that's fuck. Whatever. My little cube isn't working right now. I mean, something's broken. Kohi. Whatever. Alright, 185 millimeters. Okay, so this thing, which I think is this. Yeah. Can I not click on this? Oh god, did I break it? Oh, no, don't break. Please, please, please. Oh god, I'm sorry, I take it back. Please don't freeze on me. There, okay, jeez. Shades! Okay, okay, so that'd be 185 plus, since this is the end, including the holes, I have to add 10 millimeters. Or 8 side, because this isn't a 10. 8. Okay, 16. So I add 16. What's 185 plus 16? That'd be 190, 200, and... Why is my brain not working? 101? Let's just make it an even 100 and swallow that extra millimeter. Oh, why did I design it that way? Oh. Ah! Sarah, you horrible bad thing. You. Oh. Oh. Okay. I did not design this well. I think I just did this quick and dirty, and I didn't do it properly, so I can't edit it. Or I can. I just have to... Don't I just delete all of these things and then, like, re-insert them or something? Here. Okay, so let's just make this 5. There. Five. Okay. And then the distance... That's how this is supposed to work, right? You're supposed to be able to just sort of modify this on the fly. So this is between the end. So again, that's 100 and... Okay, so it's 185 plus 20. Or no, what's a half of 185?
Half of 185 is 92.5.
Good job. 92.5 plus 10 is 102.5. 102.5. Oh man. Okay. Okie dokie. Okay, so, Let me just fix all this shit. Oh god, not 55. So like all of my work files from when I was learning Fusion are a waking nightmare because I didn't understand the parametric thing. I was just sort of using Fusion like you would use SketchUp. So when I go back and I look at all of my original, like when I made the tasting feet for Noodle like a couple years ago, they're terrible. Like, they're really bad because I just sort of brute force my way through making this software work in a way it probably wasn't intended, and I get it to work, but like you absolutely cannot modify anything. So it's almost as bad as using SketchUp where you have to like remake a bunch of stuff, kind of. Because I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm trying to break a lot of those really shitty habits. Right, Mark?
Yep.
102. Okay. 98. Are we going to do French Toast Friday? Why does that look so much?
Why wouldn't you do that?
I'm so confused right now. Mark.
Let's do it.
What?
Nothing.
Why does that look like so much more? 95, 95, 102.5, 102.5. Oh, that's to the point. My bad. 102.5. Okay. My bad. Okay. That is incorrect. There we go. That's between the end. Okay. I really should pick a constant. No. Let's just see what this looks like. Okay. Yay. Cat and man.
Ben was showing me the thing of you need to pay the troll toll.
What?
It was in Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They did I guess they did a play, and then the short guy
Danny
DeVito plays the troll in the play, and he does this whole musical number where he's like, if you want the boy's soul, you must pay the toll, troll.
What? I don't even know.
It was
I haven't seen
a play where the devil wants this boy's soul.
Oh.
Right? So he goes on this number, he's like, if you want the boy's soul, you must pay the toll, troll. And the devil had to pay the troll to be able to get the boy's soul. Right? And it was part of that thing. But he sang it in a way, it's like, if you want the boy's soul,
oh,
then you must, like,
that's amazing.
And that was their little subtle thing as it went on. You're just like, what am I watching?
That's amazing. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it was like completely inappropriate. It was just like this is the first time I saw it, so I was just dying laughing.
Have you ever seen the show
What?
Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I haven't seen a couple of episodes, and you've shown me Kitten Mittens and things, but
the show is
I need to watch it because it's very deep,
hilarious.
Yes, it's an amazing show. So
I mean, I watched that like 10 years ago, so I have no idea if I would still find any of that funny. But 10 years ago, I didn't like Archer, so
right.
I don't know. We shall see. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that has to be a different length. Ah, here's where the math comes in. So that was the not correct. Mark.
What?
Mark. Nothing. I'm just. This is where it becomes very apparent that I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I can figure it out. I think. Near plane. So we're making French toast and cookies. Yeah?
Cookies?
I'm making fucking cookies. I'm making Russian tea balls. Yeah? Okay. Okay, I need... What do I need? I need so much. Okay, so these both need to be shortened by... What is the difference between this hole and that hole? What? No, let's just... Fuck off. No. Ugh. Oh, seriously? Oh, 11.2. I blink at that number. Let's just go with 11. How about 11 point... Let's just go with 11. No, okay. 11. If you half 11, that is 5.5, right? 5.5. So hypothetically, if I shorten these each by 5.5, so .5. 5.5. The holes should be where they are supposed to go. Oh god. Just please. There. Perfect! Ha! Okay. Okay, alright. Okay, so that's like my base mechanism. I could connect all of this in Fusion and see if it does. Right? That's like how that works. See if this even works the way that I thought it ought to. I should check the chat. Hang on. Okay, I'm gonna come back over here and see how you guys are doing. Hi everybody! What? Oh, hi Tony! The search sucks ass? Wait, what? Haven't watched. Wait, why are we talking about Mythbusters? That's not a fun thing to talk about. I'm just gonna click show on all of these. I apologize. I'm gonna scroll up and see what I've missed. So if I'm responding to any of this late like, I apologize. Delete this or I'll do it. Wait, what? Come to Scotland, we have salmon. Oh, okay, I know when I was talking about salmon. Let's start there. Pizza Hut went to space. I wish you could get pizza in space. Noodle agrees. Pizza nipples? I remember when we were talking about nipples. Oh. Aww. But yeah, salmon. Man, I love salmon. Like, one of the things, let's talk about European breakfasts. My favorite part about going to Europe is at the hotel you get the breakfast included breakfast, and it's usually a European breakfast spread, and it has all the things that I actually want to eat for breakfast. I don't like American breakfasts with the really greasy, heavy meats. Like, bacon's great and everything, but that's kind of the last thing I want in the morning.
No.
Mark doesn't agree.
Sin.
I know that's like
Sinner.
A lot of Americans don't agree with me, but in the morning I want like cold cuts,
Bacon.
like cold cut meats, cheeses, and fish, like cured fish or smoked fish, like the little fillets that you can get, like a pate or something, and then maybe a croissant or something to go with that with my coffee, and that's it. Like, I don't really want anything else. Eggs maybe, but like I want like really clean things in the morning. I love salmon. The salmon of wisdom. I like salmon a lot because I have this blanket that looks like a piece of salmon that was made for me as a gift for Christmas some years ago, like 7 years ago now. Jesus. Whoa. 6 years maybe. My toes used to get stuck in it because it was crocheted, so I'd wake up in the morning and my toe appendages would be lodged in this crocheted salmon blanket. So it ended up getting called the toe salmon. I still have the toe salmon. It's on the couch. It's my couch blanket because it has some weight to it and I can just sort of wrap around it and it just like hangs on my body and I love it. But salmon has always been a household term because of the blanket and my longing for locks always. And then I play quite a bit of Splatoon and they came out with this game mode called Salmon Run, which I consequently love. So it just reinforced the whole, like, I guess, colloquial salmon use of the word salmon in this house way more than it should ever be used. Toe salmon. I wish I could eat that one salmon. Oh, everyone's talking about salmon. 8-legged horse here. I would eat an 8-legged salmon horse. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten. I should probably fucking eat. No. Isn't that called like a selkie? I don't know. What 8-legged centipede horse?
What?
He disguised himself as a lady horse and got pregnant.
A lady horse.
And got pregnant.
By the farmer.
Pregnant lady horse.
Whoa.
Oh, so...
Don't judge.
Zeus turned into an animal and shit to get laid. Pregnant. I don't know, I guess if I was a god, I would just, like, transform into different things and do weird shit.
Get laid.
And get laid. I think, like, the one thing I really wish that I could do is run on all fours.
That reminds me, we need to do that manger thing in the front yard.
Oh, with the geese? We're making a...
Sorry, God's getting things pregnant. Yeah.
Goose manger.
Made me think of that.
Speaking of gods getting stuff pregnant.
What else did he get pregnant?
That's what gods do. I mean,
Exactly.
that's effectively what God did with Jesus. He pulled a Zeus.
It's a cold winter night.
With a human.
What am I gonna do?
We're making a goose manger. Yeah. For geese. That's probably not gonna end up happening. I'm opting to the pizza tree over the goose manger.
The pizza tree.
Damn it.
The pizza tree. Dangle
Super
your
crunch.
pepperoni for me.
Oh, God. This year's been rough. I think I was, like, effectively entirely burnt out this entire year. Until now. Like, I still made stuff, but I didn't have the same, like, disgusting amount of energy that I normally have. This is the first year that it's been, like, a lot of work to do anything. I think, last year I overextended myself in a lot of different ways. And then I had no money to show for it at the end of the year, and then hated everything. So, like, spiritually and energy I like face planted, like, around this time last year, and I've just been recovering ever since. So I'll have, like, bursts where, like, I feel very social and I have the capacity to do all of this stuff, and then it's followed by, like, a month of me just, like, not if that makes any sense. I'm sure we've all been through that, right? Vote for Noodle than Carl. Oh, Noodle. Let's turn the kids against each other. Carl 2020. I may be a robot parasite flamingo, but at least I'm not Trump.
Carl.
Parasitic robot flamingo. Noodle Carl 2020. Please God, anyone but Donald. Aww. Noodle says he would make a great president.
You should do a shirt that says Parasitic Robot 2020.
Parasitic Robot 2020.
And it's Carl on a skateboard or something.
Carl.
Parasitic Robot.
Techno music start. National anthem stops. Techno music starts. Yes. In Japan, cell phone cameras must make sound to make upskirt pics less viable. Wow. Really? Damn. In my mind, like, Japan is, like, very innocent and full of very nice, polite, honest people.
Lots of perverts.
But I guess that's what I hear. You got to pay the troll toll if you want to get in that boy's hole. That's what it was.
Yes.
You got to play the troll toll if you want to get in that boy's hole.
No, I don't think he said in.
Boy's
he said
soul.
if you want that boy's hole. Boy's soul. And he said it like boy's hole.
Boy's hole.
Right. I think he did say in that at some point, but like he kept saying it like, is he saying boy's soul or boy's hole?
Marc is basically Danny DeVito, but cute.
Yeah, everybody thinks I look like Danny DeVito.
It's only when you go, eh.
Ah.
There you go.
The penguin.
I remember when we were in Berlin, like, some random guy just walked up to Marc and was like, "Excuse me, but you look like Danny DeVito." In, like, English, and we were like...
Yeah, then he asked me for, like, do you have any money?
Yeah, and then he asked him for money.
He was one of those backpackers in Europe that just asked for money to fund his trip.
He totally didn't butter Marc up.
And I gave him the dirtiest look, and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he walks away, because he knew I was just like, I'm going to just fucking push you into the street right now. I was so fucking offended.
Yeah, that was...
Because he talked me up for like 5 minutes. And then begged for money. I'm like, go fuck yourself, you know?
You don't tell somebody they look like Danny DeVito and ask for money.
Well, but that's a typical sales trick, is you butter somebody up and then you drop the fucking thing on them and they're like, of course I'll give you $20. You complimented me.
That's not a compliment, is
my point. Do I look like a sucker?
Nico, man, I haven't watched any TV since the first episode of Mythbusters either. True story. I remember on that show they're like
it didn't end well.
They're interviewing me for the show, and like they're asking me about like what my favorite episode of the Mythbusters were. Like the producer was asking me what my favorite episode of the Mythbusters franchise was.
You should have said, "Is that a show?"
I kind of did. I was like, I have no idea. I don't watch TV. And he was like,
What?
how did you know to apply for this shit? I'm like, oh.
Hot dogs on
Hot dogs
robots.
On robots.
Parasitic hot dogs on robots.
No, that I blame Tony for that.
Yes.
Tony's the reason I know about the show.
You have friends that watch television.
I have friends that watch TV. They tell me about things
For you.
sometimes.
They filter it.
Apart from Steven Universe and Savage Builds. I like Oregon Field Guide. I don't know what that is. You can enter dimensions as equations. Oh, enter dimensions as okay. So it's like a data. What are those things called?
What?
Spreadsheet.
Yeah, sprayed data sheet.
It's like a spreadsheet, but with CAD. You can enter equations, and then they do things. I think you can set parameters like that in Fusion 2.
Isn't that MATLAB or something?
I don't know. Cookie French toast. We did do something like that. It wasn't with cookies, though.
I don't want to shit my pancreas the next day.
We had... What have we done? We've done so many...
We've done Captain Crunch French toast.
Yes. If you want to see all of us really young, like 6...
like 10.
Like 6 years ago.
I was old 10 years ago.
Well, me and Matt and everybody, like, young, like, really, like, teenagey looking young.
Fresh out of the shell.
Fresh out of our shell. You can go on YouTube and type in French Toast Friday, which is what we're doing tonight. I don't think we're going to film it because we stopped doing that, but we used to film it, and I used to edit them, and I used to put them on YouTube, but not under my YouTube channel. So they're up on another YouTube channel. So you have to search for them, because you won't find them on Robohemian, because they have nothing to do with, not that they would need to, because it is a very bohemian thing, I guess, that we do. This baking thing, the French toasting baking thing. But you have to search for them, and we film making appalling food. Us. We've made lemon custard French toast, Captain Crunch French toast, Cinnabon French toast, lasagna French toast, banana nut bread French toast. I know I'm forgetting things. They're all up there. Matt's kind of the star. My best friend, Matt, he's kind of like the narrator. I'm the camera person, and Marc is the cook. And between the three of us, we produced, I want to say, like maybe a dozen episodes of this show. French Toast Friday.
See it on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. True story. Wait, I'm still scrolling through this chat trying to catch up. I'm never gonna make it. Oh. We should make cookie French toast, though.
I think if it could make a cookie dough or the cookies and use a lot less sugar, so that it's a sweet dough but not overly sweet, then balance it with syrup or whatever we add to it. That would work.
Are we gonna do
cookie flavored pastry? Just add the
croissant French toast.
What makes a cookie a cookie? What do you got?
Marc.
You still vanilla, brown sugar.
Marc.
Will definitely what?
Croissant French toast.
Croissant?
Yeah.
Like fry a croissant?
Yeah, with egg.
Like batter a croissant and
like
then
soak
cook
an
that.
egg in some egg real quick and then like fry it. Yeah. Would that work?
I think it would.
Should we do that tonight?
Because a croissant is kind of very airy inside, you could, let me get through this. You could do that, what you just said, batter it and cook it, and then we inject cream, cheese,
cinnamon paste,
or a cinnamon paste,
cinnamon sugar paste.
You could inject whipped cream into it with cinnamon or something. You could inject a filling into this thing and eat it like a blintz or whatever those are called.
Do you want to do
and
that?
then drench that in honey or maple syrup.
You know that cinnamon sugar paste shit that they put on Cinnabons?
Sugar paste?
The cinnamon sugar.
Yeah, that's
the brown shit.
Confection sugar and cream cheese and butter, more butter.
No, the cinnamon shit and
the cinnamon. That's
the brown
butter and
stuff.
cinnamon.
Okay.
And brown sugar. Yeah, that's yeah. Could do that.
The cinnamon brown shit. We should push some of that in the.
Well, I need it to be creamy, so it needs to have a base of some creamy thing, which could be cream cheese. It would be very cheesy. It adds protein.
We can do that. I mean, I'm never gonna turn down cream cheese.
You could whip the cream cheese and then you mix that with those ingredients, and it'll sweeten it and fluff it, and it'll be a nice kind of a gooey center.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait.
Etsuko.
Don't
All right.
diddle kids.
Don't diddle kids,
and
yes.
Mark said I am Danny DeVito. I agree.
Don't diddle the kids!
Danny DeVito is God. Paramedic
He's a
measurement.
genius.
Parametric. This is paramedic measurements. I'm like...
Paramedic measurements? He's dead, Jim.
You'll ever sit on the couch and wonder why you can't stand? Ever sit on the couch? I don't sit on the couch.
Why you can't stand? What?
Mark does that.
I do that.
You go super bohemian and automated absinthe dispenser. I actually hate absinthe.
God.
Like, I believe in is cited by Moulin Rouge, the 4 pillars of Bohemia, which is sort of how I've based my life in truth, beauty, freedom, and love.
2 years ago, I had a chance to buy a bar quality Jägermeister dispenser for $20.
Good night, Micahs. I'm probably getting to that late. Go on, sorry.
Well, 2 years ago at work, they were selling for $20 a Jägermeister dispenser. So it took 4 full-size Jägermeister bottles upside down into the thing, and it had a tap on it, and they were just selling it for $20. And I was like, I'll never use that, so I didn't want it. And my friend Ben bought it, and he flipped it for like $500.
Really?
Yeah, because it was a pro grade system. And now in hindsight, I'm like, I totally should have bought that. And just kept it.
You should have. Why didn't you?
Jägermeister, I don't know. That reminded me of that incident.
Oh, that's right. You have a hole in your knee. Is it like that thing from Skyrim, where it's like that one time I took an arrow to the knee type of hole, or is it a different type of hole? How do you get a hole in your knee? Is it like the knee cap, or is it like the knee meat? I guess is the thing to ask in that situation. What? Why were you talking about Jägermeister? Wait, Mark?
Wait, what?
Were you just talking about Jägermeister?
No, I had a chance to buy an actual bar quality Jägermeister machine.
Jägermeister.
And I passed on it, and Ben grabbed it.
Oh.
And he paid like $20 for it. And he's like 3 or 4 days later, he's like, yeah, I've put it up on Craigslist and got $500 for it. I'm like, oh, I could have just flipped that thing for money. But no, I just pointed to it for Ben. Mm-hmm. And he bought it and knew exactly how to flip something. Like I suck at flipping things. Like, could have bought, a new iPhone with that or something. I don't know. So.
A conscience. I love you.
I love you.
I love you. I love you. Okay. What was I doing? Oh yeah. What is that attached to? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, that's what this was.
Faster.
Okay. Right. Ah. Aha. Now that we just talked about cinnamon toast French. I'm excited. We should do croissant French toast. Everyone in chat thinks it's a terrible idea, so we should definitely do that. We should get the do you want to make your own croissant dough, or do you want to just buy Pillsbury dough croissant?
No. I can go get croissants.
No, we should bake.
No, Sam's Club has fresh croissants. They're really good. They come in a pack, and I don't have to do any work.
Fine, but we have to make the cinnamon paste.
Yeah, we'll make all the other things, and then we'll batter those things. I am not making fucking croissants.
Okay.
Like, that's a layered butter process.
Well, what we could do if we got the uncooked Pillsbury ones.
No, those are garbage.
They are garbage.
They have chemicals in them. I will not buy Pillsbury anything. I am so disappointed by every product they've ever made.
They used to be good and now they're shitty.
Yeah, because they substituted everything in there to make it last longer on the shelf. So there's not real butter, not real anything, preservatives, lots of vegetable oil or God knows what oil. Some unhealthy oil that will kill you later.
Unhealthy oil.
No, somebody was telling me once it was like coconut oil or palm oil or something that like gives you cholesterol, and all the food vendors were switching to it because it's dirt cheap. So they substituted the oil they needed for a recipe with that. This was years ago, but it was like, I'm like, yeah, no wonder everybody's dying all of a sudden from weird health disorders. Is they're substituting all of these ingredients and foods with something that's like cheap and kills you.
That's why I try not to buy shit from the store.
Yeah.
Remember you used to give me crap about that? I was like, let's shop at Sprouts. And you're like, no, they have the same food. And I'm like, no, they don't.
The thing is, at the store, I can still buy butter and all those things and make really good food from the store. I don't need to go to Sprouts. I don't agree. Like, there are slightly better ingredients.
But they curate their whatever the hell they carry.
But it's not Pillsbury.
They curate it so that it's not like poison. So you go there and you can have some level of confidence that they don't stock
they're a profit-driven corporation.
Yeah, but they don't typically sell like egregious like here eat this.
Yeah, they tend to carry a
cheese.
healthier stock.
And it's like Sam's Club kind of does that too. Like they kind of curate whatever fucking products they carry as well.
Well, although I've noticed lately that half the store is dedicated to soft drinks. Literally aisles and aisles of like packaged soft drinks, and it pisses me off because that stuff's garbage, right?
Soft drinks in food things.
And Gatorade. So yeah.
Oh my god. No. I always pick the wrong side.
That's the story of my life. Anyways. But you're the top tonight, so it's not my problem.
Matt's the top.
Matt's always the top.
Now we do horror movies in the fall, French Toast Friday in the winter, in the summer we do kiddie pool night. What do we do in the spring? Oh yeah, hockey.
Oh yeah, it's hockey season.
Spring's hockey season,
so
summer's kiddie pool season.
You put out the pool.
Yeah. The pool comes out on the last after the Stanley Cup finals, and then after ours.
Yes.
That's when the kiddie pool goes away.
How do you know when it's time to sit in the pool and watch television?
Because the nips are out.
Because somebody won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. I don't...
That's how you know. When the Stanley Cup gets won, it's time to put water in a pool and watch movies.
Yes.
That's how you know.
Kogi.
So it's like, did somebody win the Stanley Cup yet? Nope. All right, keep watching hockey.
No, you're correct.
Yes.
I'll never forget running around Japan trying to find a place to watch.
What is this hockey?
Yep.
What if that was like some offensive word there and people were just like shutting their doors in front of you and turning away?
That would be weird.
Calling the police on you.
She's
looking for hockey.
I'm glad that's not the case.
Holy shit, what a pervert.
I'm glad that's not the case. Because, yeah, I went all over Tokyo trying to find a sports bar. I actually didn't ask people because I knew they probably wouldn't know what the hell I was talking about.
It's like me going around looking for Boy Soul.
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna go do my errands.
What errands?
I gotta go to Home Depot.
I'm gonna sit here and leak snot down my own throat.
Home Depot. Home Depot. And I'll get the croissants.
Okay. Get like 2 packs because I'll probably have them.
No, the pack is like industrial. We probably won't eat them.
Are they from Sam's Club?
I'm gonna go to Sam's Club and get a giant pack of croissants.
Because I'll have them this weekend. With
like 2 or 3 per person.
That's
4
fine.
per person, whatever.
I'll eat them over the weekend.
16 croissants.
Like I don't care. I love croissants if they're good.
Right.
I'll have them with my coffee.
Sounds good to me.
My favorite thing to get in Germany or Germanic countries, there's this place. Those of you, like a lot of you are from Europe. There's this place called Krobag.
Krobag.
Like if you're from like Austria or Switzerland or Germany, there's it's called Krobag. No. And it's got marzipan croissants, right? Which is common, like other bakeries have marzipan croissants too, but like the first one I ever had was from Krobag, so anytime, and they tend to be at train stations.
That's the reference.
So when you get off of a train, there's like a Krobag there. Like when I arrived in Linz this past year.
It's the Tim Hortons of Europe.
Yes. Well, in like that part of the
Yes.
that whatever. There's one at the train station in Linz now, which there wasn't the first couple times we went there.
There's one there now?
Yes, as of this year. So when I got off the train, I like turned the corner and there was a Krobag and I got a marzipan croissant.
Do that.
And I was so happy because I was starving and I looked like I had died several times.
All right, that's a plan.
And then I got peaches because I was into peaches this summer. Peaches. Or was I? Oh yeah, I'm doing this. Okay. Oh yeah. There's a year. 32 tooths. Okay. All this is gonna have to get really, like, beefed up quite a bit. I realize that. But I'm just trying to get the dimensions correct so in my mind I can wrap my head pieces around what I'm doing. Because the more this takes shape in my head, the more it's like an actual thing and not just some abstraction that I've been talking about since Sunday. So I'm trying to achieve that. Because as much as I think I know what I'm doing, the more I work towards it, the more I realize I don't know what I'm doing, but then I'm figuring it out as I'm realizing I don't know what I'm doing. So it's like this like simultaneous like tripping and catching myself while I'm falling and tripping again type ballet. I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm gonna go with it. So I guess we're making croissant French toast stuffed with cinnamon paste and cream cheese frosting tonight. So Matt's usual job when we do this, he's the whipping boy, that's what we call him. He's in charge of stirring custard and whipping cream. Anything that involves a good strong forearm, we give that task to Matt. Marc is usually responsible for the bulk of the kitchen orchestration, and then I am the camera person. And since I don't really film these events anymore, I kind of just stand and judge them, like Chris Kimball from Cook's Country. Man, when did we stop doing this? And I want to say it's been like a good 3 years since we stopped filming French Toast Friday. Yeah. It was like ever since the last election season, now that I think about it. Man. But yeah, that was a good, solid tradition. What is everybody else's traditions? Like, I'm here talking about stuff we do in all of the seasons to kind of, like, hallmark reality and the passing of time. What does everybody else do in the winter, particularly? Like, do you have any winter rituals that make the year more real? Is that a good word to use? More distinguishable, I guess, from other years. So I'm convinced that's why we do anything, right? And I'm a very, very big ritual person. Like, I like naming things that I do on certain days. Like, I have Margarita Monday and French Toast Friday. I used to have World Domination Night. There are all these little things in my life that I create, these constructs that I create in my mind to give time more meaning. Because otherwise it's just a slurry. Like, my mentor and I talk about this, Keith. Life is sort of this, it's a slurry of events. Like, I'm this strong believer that when we're young, The reason why we have such strong memories is because we're experiencing everything for the first time. So it has a larger impact on us. We're more likely to remember what the feeling was when we did something for the first time. But the more that we establish routine and do the same thing over and over and over again, we have more instances where we have that same type of experience, so everything just sort of becomes muddled. And I try to fight that. And my mentor and I call it life slurry. So it's, how do you combat the life slurry? Like, what is everyone's, I guess, chosen method of fighting life slurrydom? Oh god. I'll check the chat in a moment. I don't know what I'm doing. Everyone's like, I can tell. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. So I need to make a hub attachment with a thicker gear for the motor. This piece is about as thick as it's probably gonna get for now. This needs to mount to solidly, because these both need to stay registered to one another. So what is going to probably end up happening, the teeth of these is probably going to need to grow a little bit, which I'm going to have to manually edit. But the teeth ratio needs to stay the same. Because these teeth are pretty tiny, and I don't have a whole lot of faith that they're gonna stay registered very well on a plastic prototype, because I'm thinking there's gonna maybe be just enough slop that they can kind of like slip past each other. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, fuck it, let's go with what I have, and if I run into that problem with this first prototype, I can probably redesign this top bar piece right here pretty easily with another gear that has fatter teeth. I'm not even really sure what the rate, I think it's 32 to 40, so I could hypothetically scale that down to, what would that be, 16 to 20? Is that what that would be? Yeah. 16 to 20. I'm gonna write that down, and I'm going to probably end up doing that soon. Because yeah, that's these two things. And that gives me like what I perceive as potentially being the right amount of movement back and forth. Because the servo motors, in my mind, I'm guessing, if I get like the strong Metal Gear type for now, they're only going to move 180 degrees. So in that 180 degrees, the middle point of this gear needs to go back and forth, and in so doing, this thing needs to move as much as it's going to go, whatever that ends up being. All this is going to get changed. So all of these are magical slop numbers until I make one of these and try to actuate everything with the motors running and see how it fails, because it will probably more than likely fail. How it will fail is a mystery for now. We shall see. Sometimes there's a raptor. There's going to need to be an axle, connecting these things together, glass rod. So these two things are going to be connected with some sort of pipe or very strong rod, kind of fixing these face plates that the motors mount to together, and that will bridge the two sides together. The bracket also needs to connect to this phantom piece right here, and I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do that. You know what? Fuck it. Let's make this easy. Yes. I can always do this. Yeah. So you're lazy. Oh. There. Done. All I have to do is get rid of these holes also, and we're good. Doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to work right now. We can worry about pretty later, right? That's how I'm gonna do that. Okay. Fly by the seat of her pants. So it looks like this is going to attach to here with 4 spacers utilizing these holes. So that means that this distance is also tweakable given the exact size of spacer. So I can close in the relative distance from this mechanical linkage to the motor based on the spacer here. Same thing with the spacer in between these two, the 2 assemblies on either foot pad. I like using spacers for this particular reason. One, I kind of have to because of the way the 3D printers work. You kind of have to print a lot of flat pieces and then bracket them together with different like sized spacers. Which is great because if something doesn't work, you can just reprint the spacer to be like a millimeter or 2 smaller or larger or whatever's needed, and that takes usually a lot less time than redesigning the whole part and reprinting like a major complicated piece relative to the assembly, so I don't know. It's not a bad thing. Spacers do take a while to print because they're very vertical. Like I do print them up like this, which again, it makes them weak given the way that the layers laminate together, but they turn out a lot nicer looking than if you print them laying down. I could make square spacers, I guess, but maybe I'll try that next. I'll just make ugly square spacers in black or something so that you can't see the corners. They'll just sort of blend into the ether. But I think with that being said, I think I might print this. Like, this is still really weak and shitty and floppy, and I don't expect it to work terribly well. The axle in between this motor and that motor, I'm probably going to attempt to make with some sort of tubing that isn't terribly expensive. I'm not sure what I'm gonna end up using, because this is kind of a large distance to span. I think it's 30 centimeters, which is 300 millimeters. It's a lot longer than I can fit on my print bed, for sure. I might use some pipe that I have lying around if there's any scrap in here, but I might have to go out and get some garbage. I don't know. I have stuff here. I'm gonna need at least 3 pieces of something to make sure that it doesn't twist and do weird stuff. It needs to kind of be solid, so that's going to take a little bit of posturing. Yeah. Okay, so again, to explain how this is going to be, these 2 pieces are going to sandwich on top of each foot pad. So there's one here, there's going to be one on this side. So just imagine everything that's right here is going to be mirrored over here. but I don't want to copy and paste it, so bear with me. So there's like a foot pad here and a foot pad here on the hoverboard. This part is going to sandwich down on the foot pad casing, and it has these little connector linkages, these loops here on the top, and this motor is going to rotate a gear that causes this little linkage assembly here, this parallel bar doohickey, to teeter-totter back and forth on this middle axis. And as it rotates this top piece back and forth, it's going to pull or push on the foot pad attachment point right here. And this is going to kind of swivel a little bit on a pivot. And that should, if the motors are in sync with one another, like always doing the opposite of each other, this will allow me to control whether they're twisted relative to one another a little bit or a lot, since I now know that that has to do with the acceleration. I need to fix my blog post because I cite that wrong in it. But that's the game plan. If this does in fact work the way that I imagine it working, then I'm going to, of course, beef this up so that it's not just little popsicle sticks clinging to life with every ounce of heft that they have. I mean, this will be in PET, so PET's it's at least better than PLA. It'll last for like 1 week versus 1 day. So again, this whole assembly, the attachment point is mounted to the axle via some spacers in between this face and this face that go over these 4 holes on the corner. And probably not this one because that's going to interfere with the spinniness of this gear. So given that the relative concept of this mechanism works, I'm going to tweak the proportions of everything so that they're exactly what I want. I'm going to beef up the thickness of all of these parts so that they are more industrial and capable of lasting for a longer period of time. Yes, and what was the last thing I was going to say? I don't remember. I guess replace things in metal. I'm basically gonna finalize the design. It's gonna slowly work towards like a final piece. And then Carl, once I feel comfortable enough with the way that it functions, if it functions, then I'll add him to the top. So somewhere on this axle, there's going to be like a mounting, like candle holder type thing for Carl's leg, which I stole from him. It's on one of his other body versions. He has a neon body. Looks like neon sign material. I'm gonna probably cut him another leg out of aluminum pipe and then mount that in the middle of the axle, and then Carl will exist, which is exciting. So the next step from here is to print these parts with the spacers, which is something I'm probably going to let the printer do for the rest of the afternoon while I do other things, like clean the house up a little bit and then prepare for tonight. It's what, like 1:16? Wow, it's early. Let's see. Let me check the chat. Hi guys. I have to catch up again. Oh man. Oh man. I have a lot of catching up to do. Ah, absinthe. Where you balance a sugar cube. I did that once. I want to say for my 22nd birthday, I got a bunch of absinthe and I did the French thing where you pour the absinthe over sugar, and I didn't like it because I don't really like the licorice flavor of anything. I tried it though. I think anything was capable of getting me morbidly drunk back then, so I didn't have very much of it, and I remember I was like flying like a banshee running around on the golf course when I lived with my parents. To the shed of shit that never gets used or sold. Oh no, what are you talking about, Tony? Would have been added to... Oh yeah, the Marc's Jägermeister thing. Oh no, it says my stream health is bad. I wonder what happened. Hopefully it's okay now. Tony, okay. Would have been added to the shed of shit that never gets used or sold. Yes, it would have sat there forever. It's a big hole going into... How do you have a hole in your kneecap? I hope your knee gets better. I'm sorry about all these, like, I need to turn off the censor thing on the chat. No. Hey, house cat, like, seriously, don't put it on it. Don't put... Oh no, what do you... It kills the house cat. Don't put au natural on a house cat. Yeah, capitalism does sell poison all the time. Don't have anything to do with people sitting all day, eating way too much, and dumping sugar into everything they make. That too. Have anything to do. I do think there's a lot more chemicals and shit that have effects on our bodies that we don't, like, understand fully yet, which is probably part of it. We don't have very active diets, and we put way too much sugar in everything. Like, we took the fat out of everything and then added sugar to it. And the problem is that we need fat in our diet, and we really don't need sugar ever. So we're just sort of, we have extra poison and not enough of the stuff that we need to have healthy, like, joints and brains and things like that. So if you stick to buying crap from stores that is of the diet variety, it probably has all the fatty acids you need, like, robbed out of it, and a lot of extra sugar that is unnecessary, which is bad for you. And your heart tubes. Don't clog the tubes, as a rule of thumb. Damn. Don't kill your otters. And yes, humans are fucking evil. Sarah running from door to door screaming, "Where is the hockey?" Yes, that was me in Japan. I was like going... I was staying in the borough of Tokyo that has all the bars on it, and they're like touristy bars because it's where the hotels are, so I thought there was a good chance that I might actually find a sports bar that had hockey, and I was wrong. Because the game was on in the morning Tokyo time, which didn't bode well for me, because I don't think any of them were open to begin with. A lot of them were just closed until noon, and I was like, fuck. Because the game was on at like 9 a.m. So I was up at 9, like, running around like hockey? Oh, kudasai? Nothing. Canadian expat bar. Krista Hockey. You gotta find a guy from Rungstead. Oh. Flintstones chewable morphine. We don't have crow bags. Crow bag. We have the Tim Hortons now. Oh, I like Taco Bell. Sometimes. What's the order of operation for making French toast? I think you acquire bread, and then you acquire flavorants, and then you dip everything in egg, and then you fry it. So it's a bread component, a flavor component, and then it all just gets soaked in egg and fried. And that's kind of how we do. Oh, we've done stuffed French toast with berries. So it's like custard or Nutella or bananas or Captain Crunch, banana bread. We'll pick like a flavor thing that we think would be good fried and dipped in egg, and then we just make French toast out of it. And French toast kind of is just anything that you can dip in egg and fry. So pretty much anything can potentially become French toast. Like if you took a fucking piece of pizza, dipped it in egg and fried it, we'd probably call it French toast and eat it, which we haven't done yet, but it's actually a good idea. The Yuletide human sacrifice. World Domination Wednesday. World Domination Night was on Sunday. And that was a tradition that carried over from the original location of our hackerspace to the new hackerspace, but then like what happened on that night completely changed, because it used to be World Domination Night with robots, and then it was just World Domination Night with bad ideas, and then that was like a different thing in and of itself. Murder Mondays. No, Margarita Mondays, and that's with my mom. Oh man, Metal Gear. Okay, 16, 20, 8, 10, or 4, 5. Which, yes, you can keep having this shit. Metal Gear. Oh. This is a stream. Not sure about the physics of it, but you considered using magnets to hold the thing you want to be solid. I don't know. Magnets sound like a bad idea in this circumstance. I'm gonna go with what I know for the time being, and then work out from there. PLA is kind of bad. It's brittle. Like, if you want to make mechanical things and you use PLA, given any period of time, it will break. So, like, in the context of making robots and stuff, PLA is shitty. It's great for prototyping, but it's not dependable as a material for creating anything that you want to last for more than, like, a year, which is fine in most circumstances, but, like, if you're making moving parts, PLA is not a good idea. Absinthe. We have Taco Bell. Chicken nugget is chicken nuggetto. Chicken nuggetto. I think that's also the name of my house. Pizza dipped in egg. Sounds like a nuclear heart attack waiting to happen. Murderita Mondays. Or my mom and I haven't worked up to that yet. And then once we're at the bar, we're pretty much staying there forever. Oh wow, I'm current. Marc! I have made robots out of meat. Mikumen. It's actually a terrible material for making robots. Unless the robots already came with meat. Like us humans. Marc?
What?
No walking around the house naked.
You called me.
There's like cameras.
Yeah, where's the camera?
Like, right there?
There, that's better.
Okay. I'm like, don't do that.
Alright, what do you need?
Marc just walked in here naked. True story. No, I was gonna say we should make pizza French toast. We should dip a pizza.
You just changed it?
No, not tonight. No, I mean like in the future, like next Friday, we should make pizza French toast where
Go on.
we can make, like, you know that French bread pizza? The bread pizza?
Okay.
It's like the pizza with the bread-like crust.
Are we putting sauce and toppings and cheese and then enclosing that and then frying that?
I think you can dip the bread, like the crust, in the egg, and then put all the toppings on it, and then fry it.
You can't fry it with the toppings open to the world. Is it stuffed?
You could do that too.
No, the sauce would go everywhere in your frying liquid. So no.
Marc he showered before going to the store because he has to leave the house clean.
I have respect for myself.
Are you like trying to get me kicked off YouTube or something?
Can you see me?
No, I'm just.
Oh.
Why would you do this at all?
You called me, so.
Okay, you could have not come in the room. You never do this normally. So.
Nope.
Okay. You should think before you do things.
Brief nudity.
No.
No, I know you're facing away. I know there's no.
Yeah, but hypothetically, if it wasn't.
Well, that would be bad. So
yes.
Don't call Marc when he's pruning himself.
Or don't walk in here naked, because you never normally do that. So you're like literally trying to be cheeky.
You gotta pay the troll toll.
No.
Yeah.
Do you literally want to like make my life come to a screaming halt?
Yep.
Yeah? So you don't care about my professional life.
You have to When you know I'm naked, don't call me into the room.
Don't put this on me. You could have just answered from the other room.
All right.
No, you need to seriously not. That's not funny. Like, it's seriously not funny.
Call me.
No. Like, no, don't do that.
You don't do that.
You're going to ruin the day. Just say, I won't do that in the future.
I won't do that again.
Okay.
That's the last naked you get of me, people.
No. Like, do you understand conceptually what I'm getting at right now? Or do you not care?
On your stream, okay?
What?
Don't yell at me on your stream.
Okay.
You won't get any help. Don't call me when I'm working on things.
I think this is like the second time that this has happened. Hot pocket French toast. Yes. That's what we were getting at. I don't think in all of the years that we've done French Toast Friday, we've ever attempted a savory French toast. So I think in the future, it's bound to happen. Alright, all of my positive energy has just, like, vacated my body. Anyhow, okay, with that, this thing's done, so I'm just gonna, like, take what I have so far and print it. Which you guys don't need to see because that involves me saving a bunch of STLs and doing stuff with them, which is really boring. So I'm probably gonna call it. I've been doing this for 2.5 hours, right? That's enough time. I've hopefully explained what my intent is as of, like, yesterday and the day before. So I know I announced I was doing this, I made a video, and then the plan of action changed from the time I made the video to yesterday. So I wrote a blog post explaining my new intent, and then that is also changed between that point in time and now. So now it's like, okay, I know that the acceleration isn't controlled by the foot pedal. It's also the accelerometer. So the game is like changing. It's in flux as I'm realizing things about the mechanism. So, or not the mechanism, the thing that I'm parasitically manipulating to do stuff that it's not meant to do. Or it is meant to do, but not in the context that it's being doing. Which is being piloted by a robot bird. So I'm gonna go and get some of that Bailey's and prepare for the festivities of the evening. Oh, the next comic page is going to go up when I get around to drawing it. Which is hopefully going to be this weekend. Which I have other things to do this weekend. So, oh, don't end the stream. I need to like jump tracks for the time being. I'll stream again in the near future, like once I get to the next step, which is going to probably be assembling the thing that I just designed in front of you. I'll probably start the stream showing like a finished assembly in CAD. So I'll probably actually flesh it out and mirror the finished thing on the opposite side, and then I'll re-explain what it does and how it's supposed to work, and then I'll put it together, and then I can kind of like mechanically actuate it with my hands a little bit if I can, and see if it actually works. I'm gonna have to acquire some motors between now and then and to install in the thing, so that I can hook those up to an Arduino and just run them and see if it does anything. I'm just gonna wait till the phone finishes ringing. Okay, I'm gonna go get some Baileys and some more coffee, and I'm probably gonna shower and get ready for the day too. I haven't done that yet. So until next time, enjoy the rest of your Friday. If you nothing, hopefully you enjoy making stuff and making food and engage in some rituals that give your life meaning this weekend. I'm going to do the same, and I will catch up with you guys probably on Monday on the opposite side of this weekend with hopefully some parts and some energy to assemble them and assess what I need to do next. So thank you for hanging out with me while I did this. Hopefully I wasn't too repetitive or confusing or explain my ideas in a not dumb way. So I will talk to you guys the next time I do a stream. Take care.